It's trying to go live. Well, we're recording. We're just not live.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna record it anyways. Hi, everybody. Hi, parents. Hi, studio owners. Yes, my hair is a mess. You know, this is what 10 hours of rehearsals look like. So that's just how it is. As promised, we are here with one of our dancers from the Latin American Music Awards cast. So why don't you just tell them your name, where you're from, so they know who you are.
My name is Jared Nathan. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I'm glad to be a part of this. I just started dancing
when did you move to LA?
About 5 months ago. 5 months, yeah.
5 months.
Yeah.
When did you start dancing?
I started dancing seriously when I was 18, but I've always danced. I played basketball growing up, but I always danced.
That's cool.
I didn't take it really seriously until about 18 and I went to school for it.
So how old are you now?
23.
So,
so
it's been about 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Okay.
5 years.
Been dancing 5 years, been in LA 5 months. So the reason that we wanted to take a moment and interview Jared is this is his first industry job, right?
Yep, definitely, yeah.
So for you guys, I mean, you are raising a lot of you children who want to dance professionally, so you get an inside view of a dancer on the first job. So okay, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Tell me, I'm sure there's a million, but what's two really essential skills that you realize that you have to have as a working professional that you've experienced in this rehearsal?
Definitely time management. Time management is a huge thing. Just always being on time, always showing up and being present. That's two. That's my main thing, is being present and being in the moment. And another thing is just your mentality, not being into your head too much. As dancers, we're always in our head and we're always comparing ourselves. So don't. Another thing is don't compare yourself to other people in the industry, because comparing yourself to others can honestly throw you off the track that you were destined to have. Your track is different from everybody else's track, so you just got to stay with it and keep it going. So those are the main two things that I would say.
Well, that's awesome. I always say, use other people for inspiration, but not for comparison, because you're right. It's
definitely.
You can't recreate someone else's life, everything that they've gone through to get to that moment.
Exactly.
So what's one or two things that you've learned from other dancers on the cast that you've been able to pick up and you're gonna take with you?
Definitely their attention to detail. That's a huge thing. It's they know how to, and then with dancing, just knowing your spacing, spatial awareness, and just always being in it and being aware of what the choreographer really wants. Because the choreographer can some choreographers want you to add your own flavor, which is what Liz wants. Liz wants you to bring your own flavor of character, and some choreographers want you to just do exactly what they want, period. So it's it's good to pick up on that. That's what I see as a dancer. They pick up on it really fast, and they can kind of shape shift their mentality to what the mentality in their bodies to what the choreographer wants, which is really cool. So
that's cool. And honestly, okay, P.S. parents, it'll be really, really good to have your kids watch this.
Yeah.
So, but if you just listen to your choreographers, they tell you what they want. Mm-hmm. But you have to be listening to them, not listening to your own thoughts of what you think it is. And because I think that they give you what you need. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk logistics, business.
Okay.
What's one or two things that maybe you wish you would have known coming into this process that is going to be really helpful the next time you book? Does that make sense?
Yeah. This process right here, or just
just working a professional job.
Definitely. Emailing is a huge thing. I know it's text messages. I know you guys are probably young and texting, but you have to get it. I would definitely get on the email track of checking emails and getting.
That's good.
Just go ahead and get an email. I would say Gmail is the most professional one, and just go ahead and do that if you
Do not Facebook your choreographer.
Don't Facebook them. Email them. Get their emails, and then headshots. Make sure your headshots are set and done. I know you guys are young, but it's good to start young all the time.
Woo! There she is. How you guys doing?
Join us.
So, I'm sure you already went through it with him, when he came out. When did you come out?
5 months ago.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, from North Carolina. Yeah.
He didn't really start dancing until he was 18, which was, I know he's like 23.
You know what? It's not that rare to meet guys that start later that succeed really well, because you've got like this itch in the back of your head of how much you got to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. Lord, yeah.
What other styles do you trade in?
I got a BFA in contemporary dance. So contemporary is like my
I don't even read contemporary on you when I see you dance. It's like a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, I study contemporary, and then contemporary and hip hop. Hip hop is like my passion, my love.
Clearly, I could see it. That reads all over you.
Yeah, it's always good to I definitely at first when I went to college, I was like, oh man, I don't know why I'm here, but now I'm in this process. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm back in college. Like the process of kind of like staging and like listening to your choreographer and like spacing and everything is like, it's always like, now I'm on a job, it's all reading back to me. It's like, oh, this is making sense. I'm glad I like invested these 4 years into studying my craft.
Say that again.
Yeah. Invest. Yes. You have to invest in your craft. Like you have to spend time. You have to, I know parents, like I didn't have, my parents, I started late. So my parents like really, they put more money into basketball and then I wanted to dance. They were like, oh wow, okay. But then when I took it seriously, they helped me a lot. So definitely invest in it if you really love it. Take risks. 4 years is, you might want to just move out to LA like I wanted to do. But, now I'm seeing that the 4 years paid off. Definitely.
I love that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to get there fast.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Patience is like a key. I'm still working on that. Patience is real.
Did you hear that? Patience is real.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get so excited, and I get it. Sometimes you just want to pull the trigger. Only problem is if you pull the trigger too early, you might miss everything.
Yeah.
Because the disappointment, the frustration, the lack of training, just not being able to see straight. And in this industry, it's so easy to get lost.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But you've been guided by Chuck Maldonado.
Chuck is like, he's like my dance. I call him my dance dad, like a dance mom. I call him my dance dad. He gets on me all the time, but he's like always on top of me all the time. But it's a blessing to be under him.
So I was at the Emmy reception party for choreographers, and Chuck was like, hey, I want you to meet this guy. And I honestly, it wasn't until after audition I was like, Jared, I love you. He's like, we met at that party. I was like, oh my God, now it's just coming back to me. Because I remember even telling Chuck, I can't wait to see you dance. And I love this kid.
Ooh, actually, I'm going to ask you a question, Liz, because why don't you tell him, like, what are the qualities that you have, like, enjoyed working with Jared? Because then you guys can understand, like, what a choreographer really needs and those qualities that have value to bring to the table.
For one, open-mindedness. He doesn't come in with any kind of prejudgment. So because he comes in as a blank slate, as an artist, I just take my paintbrush and go, let's just put all these strokes on you until I start to see the form, shape, image, picture that starts to make sense. And because he's so willing, and that's the other part, there's an open-mindedness, there's a willingness, but then on top of it, there's also a diligence on his side that you see whenever he's grabbing stuff, he'll go off to the side and just start working on it. And it really shows. And every time he steps onto the floor, there's such little doubt. And he goes at 0 to 60 instant. Like there's no marking. That's the other thing. And I was so excited because we have also Kevin Maher on this job. And I remember, Kevin's like, who is this guy? I'm like, I promise you, you will love him. You're going to love him so much. You're going to love him as much as I do. And it's just neat that once a choreographer gets to love a dancer, being able to then share who this dancer is with other choreographers, and that's how you build reputation. That's how you start building resume. Then suddenly you start to stick out more in their minds, and you're like, so who should I get? I'm like, oh, that's right, that kid. What's his name again? You're like on the search, like where did? Because when all of that comes together, work ethic, style, performance, love, passion, consistency, all those things, it just starts to radiate. And then on top of it, look at that face.
Look at that face.
You cannot say no to that face.
Well, another moment that I remember you saying that you really loved about what Jared brings is you're just curious. You know what I mean? Like you're constantly like in thought of like, how can I make this better? What can I bring to the table? I think that's like an amazing quality. Diving deep, not just like, let me learn the steps and 5, 6, 7, 8, here you go.
Definitely. One thing I used to call me when I was in college because I didn't have any technique like growing up, literally my first ballet class was an audition for School of Arts. So
Oh,
I didn't know what a
wow.
Parmesan was. I didn't know what a dégagé. I didn't know what anything was. But then they saw my contemporary solo. I mixed it with hip hop, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't have talent, but he doesn't have technique, but he has raw talent." That's what they saw something in me. So then after that, they used to call me 0 to 100. Literally because they were like, this kid like always is full out. Every time the teacher or choreographer would be like, mark it, I'll always go full out. But they were like, that's good because choreographers will always want somebody that will go full out than somebody who will mark any day. Like they want to tell you to like calm down. They rather tell you to calm down than to tell you to like to push up. I feel like, so like.
I'm pretty sure every teacher probably said that.
If
we have our choice, I'm like, I would much rather get the full out version.
Full out version than like somebody, to pull up. So and then I learned how to like balance it and not.
Oh my God! So tomorrow you're getting your first laminate.
Yeah.
Woo! You're gonna be on camera.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's gonna go live in front of millions.
Watch him, October 26th.
I'm not trying to add any pressure into Jared's life right now. I'm pretty sure his heart just went from 0 to 60 right now.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's like an adrenaline rush. It's not really nervous. It's just like I'm ready to like hit the stage.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we had a really good week, parents. It was,
really was
7 days and a lot of numbers and not a lot of hours. And these kids, man, they really did pull up. For instance, like the girls today, we had a situation where we didn't know that an artist was bringing their own choreographer. Suddenly I had to tell all those girls, forget everything you learned and now learn everything new. In 2.5 hours, entire number, done. I remember even the choreographer and the dancer that he came with were like, we love your kids. They're so fast. I'm like, they better be. Because I literally seek out those dancers. It's just,
awesome.
Right? Isn't that neat?
Yeah, because I saw them in there.
And what you saw here was done in literally like in 2.5 hours.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
So when your kid, if somebody like gets injured and there's some restaging and you guys have to figure stuff out in a half an hour, they're not learning an entire number in 2.5. and then putting on stage
tomorrow.
It
goes up tomorrow.
Yes. Oh my
tomorrow
God.
morning.
Tomorrow.
It's the first thing we put up.
First thing.
They'll enjoy it though.
Awesome.
Good pressure.
Well, Tia, thank you.
Yes, well, thanks, Jared, for taking the time.
Of course.
And again, just this rehearsal hair is amazing. But
it's so good. It's so good.
It's been a day.
And I think later on I'm going to post up some footage of Miss Tia in full action.
No, that was not full action. I can do so much better. I got thrown in and I was like just standing in for somebody, but. All right, parents. Well, thanks for. Hopefully, this was helpful. I'm sure it was. Let your kids watch this. I'm sure they'll really love listening to the perspective of a dancer who's working professionally. So, I think that's all. We're gonna be signing off.
See you guys.
Catch us next time. Bye.